There's a famous saying that goes, work smarter, not harder. Sometimes you might spend hours and hours trying to achieve something, when in reality, if you do it the right way, it can simply be attained within minutes. Same thing goes with any skill that a person is trying to achieve. Today we're going to share, inshallah ta'ala, a few major mistakes that a person might make when he's trying to study the Arabic language. And if you keep this in mind, inshallah ta'ala, then you'll realize that the study of Arabic is not as difficult as you may perceive it to be. Mistake number one is not knowing exactly what type of Arabic you're trying to study. And this is something which is very important. A lot of people, they get confused regarding this because there's a big difference between spoken Arabic. For example, if you're living in an Arab country and you want to address and speak to people in the Arabic language and have a conversation with people, spoken Arabic. There's a big difference between that and classical Arabic that will allow you to comprehend and understand the Qur'an and the Sunnah. Now, as an individual who's trying to study Arabic, the first thing you have to pinpoint is exactly what type of Arabic you're trying to study. What is your main goal from studying Arabic? Because the method will differ depending on what type of Arabic you are trying to study. So the first thing I would say is figure out exactly which type of Arabic you're trying to study. And if you're trying to study spoken Arabic, then don't get into the mistake of using the process and method that would not allow you to understand spoken Arabic or attain spoken Arabic. Rather, it's more catered towards comprehension. That's number one. Number two is not anchoring yourself. Humans, they have great willpower. And through that willpower, they're able to attain great things. However, the truth is that willpower is at times limited. You will feel extremely confident and desirous of something, but life throws curveballs at you. So you might feel, for example, waking up in the morning, elated, happy, energetic, and you drive out and something happens, and because of that, it ruins the rest of your day. That's the reality of life. So life is always going to throw curveballs at you. When you have anchored yourself with some sort of a program or some sort of a class, some sort of mutaba'ah, where a teacher, for example, is on your case and he's going to question you and so on and so forth, then that will make sure that you are following through with progress, even on the days that you don't want to be studying. And so the second major mistake is not anchoring yourself. The most important thing for a student of knowledge is that he anchors himself with some sort of a system, some class, some teacher, something where there is accountability. A healthy degree of stress is what causes all of the progress that we see in the world. If there was no stress, then people would just be sleeping all day and they would do nothing. So mistake number two is not anchoring yourself. Number three is the tendency to compare Arabic to your own mother language. Let's say a person, for example, he knows English. And so what ends up happening is that you try to think in Arabic as you are thinking in English. Whereas in reality, both of these languages, they have their own thought process and they have their own method of functioning. Or in other words, a major mistake that a student will make is to take English words and first develop a sentence in the mind in the English language and then translate it into the Arabic language, word by word. This is a major mistake. Every language has its own set of rules and its own usloob, its own method, its own framework, its own presentation. And what you want to achieve while you're studying the Arabic language is not learn how to develop a sentence in English and then translate that sentence into Arabic, but rather to think in the language that you are studying, which is the Arabic language. That is mistake number three. Number four is after studying a rule in the Arabic language, not applying it enough. Arabic is a very simple language, and the rules in Arabic are very simple. In fact, the major rules in Arabic, you can probably understand them within lesser than 5 minutes. And I'm not joking, literally lesser than 5 minutes. It's not complicated. It's not something which is difficult to understand. The problem is not the comprehension of the rule and understanding the rule. That's very simple. The problem is applying it to the extent where it becomes second nature and you don't need to think about it. And the best analogy that I'll always give for this is, remember when you were studying, for example, in high school or in middle school, and you were going through math, and the teacher explains the rule, explains the concept. And when they explain it on the board, it makes complete sense. It's clear, it's obvious, it makes sense. But what happens if you don't actually do the homework and you don't apply that rule and you don't practice the application of that rule is that you forget the rule. and eventually it's as if you've never studied it to begin with. The same exact concept you want to transfer over to the Arabic language. The rules of the Arabic language are not complicated. The problem is going from comprehension of the rules to applying and continuous application until eventually it becomes second nature and it doesn't require you to think regarding it anymore. That is the end result. That's the end goal that you want to achieve. But in that process, the only way to get from comprehension, the initial comprehension of the rule, till the complete application, or where it becomes second nature, is practice. Practice, practice, practice. The more you repeat the application of the rule, the stronger you will get. A lack of practice and sufficing only with comprehension will result in you going in circles, because you'll spend 1 year and then you'll be like, no, I got to go revise everything again, and another year and then revise everything again, and you're back to square one every single time you go through it. So making sure that you apply the concepts that you're studying and you practice them, and then thereafter you will see progress, inshallah ta'ala. Number 5, the last mistake that we're going to mention, is not following a structured program. There's a lot of different books that are compiled, and these different books have different purposes. For example, you have the Medina Arabic books, you have Al-Arabiya Bayna Yadayk, you have Taseel al-Nahw, Taseel al-Sarf, you have Al-Ajrumiyya, and all of what that entails. And you have different methods and different programs and different structures that exist and different types of books. The wrong thing to do is to literally just try and study everything. On top of that, another mistake would be not having a proper structure in place that will allow you to maximize your time. And so for this, alhamdulillah, we prepared a program at Talweeh, which is a 2-year program, which will take you from basic recognition of letters and basic recognition. So you already need to have basic recognition of letters and vowels. If there's an Arabic text in front of you, you're able to read it. But from there, learning the Arabic language, learning the rules, being able to apply them, and step by step, level by level, we prepared 5 modules. And in the end, alhamdulillah ta'ala, we finished that off with a tafsir of the Qur'an. So check that out, inshallah ta'ala. And we hope that your Arabic journey is as smooth as ever. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.